What's up, witches? What's up? What's up? What's up? How are we? What's up, witches? Okay, it looks like everything is going through. What's up? What's up? How are you? Shout out to whoever already liked this video. Shout out to you. What's up? Let me know in the comments if you can see me okay, if you can hear me okay. Hey, Betty Boo, hooty hoo. What's up, Liz? Hi. What's up, guys? Oh, more likes, more likes, more people. What's up, guys? Oh, good. Okay, so that means YouTube probably notified people. That's why all of a sudden it was like 10 people. Okay, go YouTube. Yay. Hey. Hi, Amy Lily. Hi, you're in Seattle. Hello. Hi, Blaze One. Shout out to my members. I see you with your badges. Yes. I love it. Shout out to you guys. That is so cool to see the badges in action. This is my first time seeing this. Hey, Josie, another member. What's up, Josie? Hi, Anthony. This is really cool that I can see your badges and you guys are like in different colors and stuff. Awesome. This is my first time seeing all of this stuff. If you're wondering, what is she talking about? What are these badges? These are features that come with the new BronxWitch memberships. If you were here last week and like the week before, we've been talking about different ways to grow as a community, get to know each other. And we were kicking around the idea of a book club and of a support group. And I decided to go ahead and start both of these groups and to do it through YouTube's new feature, which is like their membership feature, which is basically like Patreon, but now on YouTube. I don't know Patreon very well, but it's my understanding that this is basically how Patreon works. But you can sign up for memberships of different levels and get different things from me and be a part of these different groups. And that just launched this weekend, like officially. Anthony, yeah, I know you're going to join tomorrow. Shout out to you guys who already joined. That's super awesome. Hi, Portia. How are you? Enjoying your smokes? Were you here last week? I think you got smokes last week, right? I hope you're enjoying them. So yeah, shout out to people who already joined. But like I said in the information video that I made, if you want to wait to start with June, that makes perfect sense because I think the way they do the membership is they charge you at the beginning of every month. So since there isn't anything specific to members in the month of May, then it's totally cool to, start in the month of June. But to those of you who went ahead and signed up already and showed that support, I really, really appreciate it. So shout out to you guys. Yay, Portia's enjoying her smokes. What's up? What's up, Bianca? What's up? And there's a few of you in here now. So actually, while you guys are here, I want to give a shout out to everybody who signed up so far because I just thought this was so cool. I was really not expecting anybody to sign up before June. So I just wanted to take a second to thank Moksha and Aru, Blaze One, who's in the comments, Lady Aries, Ariana Victoria, Amy Lily, also in the comments, Deja Easley. Deja's not here yet. I know we'll probably see her later. Nahima K and Josie in the comments. Mariah's going to sign up tomorrow too. Yes, definitely. Go ahead and, wait until tomorrow, until it's June for the June membership. But I just wanted to give a super big thank you and shout out to people who already went and signed up. Because basically by doing that, you're just allowing me to do more for the groups as they come together. And it really helps me to get an idea of like how many people are going to be involved and all that stuff. I already got my Zoom membership, so we're good there. We can have like nice long Zooms as I went and did I have the upgrade or whatever. So you guys supporting basically took care of that. That takes care of that. So I appreciate that. And I want to give a really, really big shout out to Blaze One, who signed up on the supporter level, because the supporter level is what I am going to use in order to cover the cost for anybody who is a BIPOC witch who wants to join the support group but is experiencing financial hardship. So I am super, super appreciative to my supporter level people, because they are directly supporting not only videos getting made, but helping a person of color find community and support. And that's just really awesome. And I appreciate it deeply. So thank you, Blaze One. And yeah, thank you, everybody else. So I wrote you guys' names down because I was like, I want to give a special shout out. So thank you, guys. Hi, Awakening of Tony, Bronx girl. What's up? What's up? In the house. Oh, is this your first live on YouTube, Bianca? Welcome. Welcome. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for the support so far on the memberships. I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm also kind of like anxious because, like I said, whenever you like commit to something, you don't want to like not deliver. So I'm like, can I handle the extra work? But I'm like, I can do this, because I think it's just going to be a lot of fun, and that's what I'm focusing on. I'm like, it's going to be work, but it's going to be fun. That's what I'm focusing on, and I'm excited. Can we support the? Yeah, so everything that you contribute as a member goes towards all of the operations for all of the different levels. So whether it's me getting materials for you guys, finding books, talking to book publishers to get discounts, things like that, all of that stuff is like a part of the whole package of what you are supporting. It's the whole BronxWitch channel. But just in terms of like membership for the support group being extra, the supporter amount is like being specifically allocated to that. So I know exactly how many like memberships I can like extend, if that makes sense. So your membership is already supporting the support group, if that makes sense. I'm just making sure that the supporter membership is specifically set aside. Is that my music again? Oh, can you do it again? Are you meditating? I'm sorry. I'm bothering my husband. He's trying to meditate, but the freaking music keeps turning to ads, and YouTube is lying to me because it says live. And when you have a live YouTube, there's not supposed to be ads in the middle. Like when I'm live with you guys, it doesn't just stop for an ad, right? Right? That's not supposed to happen. I don't think that's supposed to happen. That's okay, Ursi. You're not late. What's up? What's up? Where can we join? So if you go to the home screen of my channel, BronxWitch's like channel, there's a button there that says join. And if you're not sure what that page is, how to get to my homepage, in the description of this video, I put a link. So it'll take you right to my homepage, and right at the top, over in the right, I think on most devices, is a little button that says join. So. And I was telling people that if you want to wait until the month of June, that's totally cool. That makes sense because, May's already over basically, and the members' videos and the meetings and stuff that we're going to have are going to happen in June. So if you want to wait until tomorrow to sign up, that's a good idea because I think it works like Patreon. So if you sign up today, they'll charge you today, and then they'll charge you again like tomorrow at the first of the month, for the month of June. So some people already went ahead and did that, which I have interpreted as their way of saying they just want to show that extra support, which I really appreciate. So you can definitely do that if you want to, but you don't have to.
I hooked you up on the premium channel.
Are you sure? Excuse me. Well, thank you.
Should be no ad.
My husband has the YouTube premium, so you don't get ads in your video or whatever. So I guess he put it on his account now. So isn't he fancy? So hopefully no more ads. But yeah, so shout out to everybody who has signed up and is signing up. it's going to be good. It's going to be fun. I'm excited. The first things that happen is this week there's going to be a regular video for the channel. There's going to be a June pick a card video, and then there's going to be zodiac videos for all of the signs for the members. Both of those things are coming out this week. Next week, we'll start voting on what books we want to read. And then the week after that, I think I'm going to do a members only live so I can answer members' questions about the book club, about the support group, all that good stuff. So yeah, we already have a schedule, guys. Okay, we have a schedule for the month of June. So be ready to pencil it all in and make sure to pay attention to the community tab. I know that's not really like a thing that people pay attention to on YouTube. People don't use it very much, but it's a good way for me to let you know when member stuff is happening. So I'm definitely going to be using it a lot more. So definitely check the community tab for any posts about what's happening. I know, right? He fancy, huh? I know. I was like, I just can't bring myself to do it. Like, I get mad at the ads every time. I'm like, oh my God, there's so many ads. And he's like, why don't you just upgrade? And I'm like, no, skip. No, I refuse. So I don't know what that's about. But yeah, so that's membership info. I made a couple of videos for you guys. One video just about the memberships in general and like what's in each level, what the dates are, when we're going to be meeting and kind of stuff like that. And then I did a more specific video about the support group and about the book club, how we're going to vote on books and all that. Both of those videos are up. And both of them are public. So even if you're not a member, you can watch those videos and learn all about it before you decide, if it's right for you and all that good stuff. All right? Yeah, you made it. Hey, Danny. You made it. Plenty of time. We're just getting started. If you guys have been here before, we are here for a while, which reminds me, I don't think I said hello to you guys. Hi, I'm Allie, aka BronxWitch. Welcome to the live weekly reading. We do this every week. We come together and we pull cards from various decks to give us an idea of what we can expect for the week energetically, things to look out for, things to be prepared for, all that good stuff. But most importantly, we get to know each other. We talk about what we're doing. Everybody says hi. Everyone, says sorry for being late, but no one's ever late because I'm always late, so it's fine. We talk about what we're drinking. Go ahead and drop down in the comments what you are sipping on. Hey, Jade. So we are always getting ourselves a beverage. We like to stay hydrated around here because we are here for a little while. We're going to talk about a couple more things that I'm going to let you guys know about. Then we're going to talk a little bit about astrology because as above, so below. And then we're going to get into the reading. And I'm going to pull cards for every day of the upcoming week, as well as cards from other decks to help support us. So we get really into it here. Go ahead and get a drink. Trust, you're going to want one. And then let me know what you're sipping on. Okay, seltzer, nothing too fancy. Which seltzer? I have recently discovered the beauty of La Croix, the fancy seltzer. And we've been drinking a lot of La Croix lately. Jade's having a cherry wheat beer. I am a big fan of wheat beer. I'm a big fan of beer in general. I don't drink it as much as I used to when I bartended, but I love a good wheat beer. Is it the Sam Adams cherry wheat? Let's see. Most relaxing, uplifting part of my week. Oh, thank you, Amy. Also, sips raspberry tea. Yum. Seltzer. Oh, blueberry, hibiscus, tea, vodka, and earth orange juice. Nice. Long day. I understand. No judgment here. Burdock root tea. Ooh, that's similar to what I'm having, Portia. Josie's having acai tea. Makai Jesus, wait, I lost it, is having a smoothie. Oh, I don't know why the earth got typed either. So just vodka and orange juice, no earth? Okay. It was kind of more exciting with the earth because I didn't know what you meant by that. Beer. Oh, several folks are having beer. I like that. Water and Mary Jane. Yes, Mariah. Echinacea tea. Feeling a little under the weather. Lots of healing energy to you, Blaze One. I hope you feel better. Skullcap tea. Anthony's having skullcap tea. Yum. Are you having a headache? I know, Anthony, I know you have headaches going on. Skull Cap will definitely help with that. I don't know if you're drinking it for that reason, but that's a happy side effect. Zevia is your go-to seltzer. Oh, I don't know that one. Yeah, Mary Jane Chase. How many people are smoking? And it doesn't have to be Mary Jane. No pressure. Herbal smokes are fabulous. I'm actually really excited, guys, because I am about to, my shop updates at the end of the week on Saturday, BronxWitch Bodega, and I will be dropping my new summer blend. It's called Solstice, and it's beautiful. And I was enjoying her this morning, and lovely. Chamomile, calendula, clipdaga, leaf and flower, and the mullein leaf that I got from the Sawmill Herb Farm a few weeks ago. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you might have saw me post in my stories. I got my first herb pickup for the year. And I got these beautiful bunches of mullein leaf. They're fully dried out. They are fully ground, ready to go, and they are now in this solstice blend that I'm really excited about. So I was smoking that this morning, but I'm having Mary Jane as well. So who else is smoking? Mary Jane for Betty Boop. Your birthday's on the solstice? Mariah. Oh, okay. I need to make a note of that. I'm going to send you the new smoke blend for your birthday, okay? I need to make a note of that. Your birthday's on the solstice. All right. You have to try it. It is so nice. It is so nice. Like the Clipdaga adds like this. Clipdaga kind of, the flower smells almost like hibiscus to me, but you can't really smoke hibiscus. I wish you could, because it seems like it would be wonderful if it wasn't such a hard, herb. But Clipdaga is soft and fluffy, so you can smoke it, and it has like a hibiscus scent to me. So it's like sweet floral. Yes. Oh, I know you would happily buy, honey. That's why I'm sending it to you for your birthday. Facts. Okay. All right. Yes, definitely try the smoke blends. They're my babies. They're my loves. They're my first, one of the first things that were on. The smoke blends and the teas were two of the very first things that I ever started making, like for myself. So that's first things I listed in the shop. So, all right. So everybody is drinking and smoking something fantastic. What else is going on? Oh, I want to tell you guys something really exciting. Are you excited? Get excited. So I don't know if you saw last week, I got these conjure cards from Lupe. And then if you follow me on Instagram, then I also got a deck from Wiser Books. And these two decks came to me as a result of my manifestations for them. Basically, I posted a post in my stories with a pentagram, like a pentagram gif on it, and I wrote an enchantment on it, calling the cards into my life. And like within a week, I had the two decks, and I'm so grateful for that. And I just know, when you get what you are manifesting twice over, you have got to pay it forward. And I just feel like that is so important. What am I going to do with two of the same decks, right? So that means I'm going to do a giveaway. A giveaway. Yes, Mary, I make teas. Yes, I have like 11 different teas. Check them out. They're in the shop. The shop is closed until Saturday. Shop updates on Saturday, and all the teas will be restocked. But you can still look at the shop and check out the blends and all that stuff in the meantime. But yes, so giveaway. I'm going to do a giveaway of the conjure cards, and I wanted to like flesh out the giveaway so it wasn't just the conjure cards. Not that they wouldn't be awesome by themselves, but I realized that when Amazon put the True Heart deck on sale, I went ahead and got myself another set, another brand new set, because I was like 50% off. Yes, please. Let me go ahead and do that. So I got that. So this is brand new and in the package. And I remembered that last year, my homegirl Ellie Mooring illustrated Intuitive Tarot by Bridget Eselman. This is the woman who made Biddy Tarot. And I just wanted to show support. I didn't really need a tarot journal at the time, but I just wanted to show support because the illustrator is a friend of mine. And so I bought it for myself. I asked for it for a gift from my husband and he gave it to me. That's how I got it. But it's brand new and I haven't used it. So I was like, you know what? This is like a really dope starter tarot bundle. Don't you think? It's got a journal. It's a 31 day to learn how to read the card journal. So it's actually designed to help you learn how to read. It's not just, an empty journal. It has prompts and exercises and, quizzes and all that stuff, pictures and all that stuff for how to learn and then stuff to journal about. Then we have the True Heart deck, which if you've been here before, really beautifully done, a really good combination of like a starter deck that follows the Rider-Waite-Smith system and is straightforward, not complicated, but that has like cool imagery that's a little bit different than the standard. So if you want to have a deck that's not just the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, this is a really good deck, and it comes with a book. So if you're a Rachel True fan, you'll be extra into this because she has 22 memoirs in the book about her life and her acting career that kind of go with the book, go with the cards. So that's pretty cool. And then these conjure cards we've been getting into. I've been talking to you guys about how playing cards have been like a part of my divination practice recently, and what I'm learning about it. And these cards are really beautiful. And I know not everybody plays playing cards, but maybe you could start. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you winning this giveaway is a sign that you should add that to your practice. Or maybe you pay it forward and you gift it to somebody else if, playing cards aren't your thing. So isn't that a nice bundle? I think this is a really good starter bundle. Or not even a starter bundle, honestly. Like, if you just want some cool new tarot stuff, they're all stuff that has come out in the last couple of years. So, anywho, yeah, are you guys into that? That's all bonkers? Good. Okay, what are you guys saying? Okay, we're into it. We're into it. Good. All right. Everybody says it's awesome. Cool. Great. So I think that's what's going to be the bundle. I'm going to post about it probably tomorrow and just stay tuned. I haven't decided yet like how everybody will enter, but it'll probably be the usual like this post, share this post type thing. And yeah. Then we'll see who wins it. Right? Oh, thank you. Yeah, man. Of course. I'm like, I am really enjoying these decks. I could hold on to a fresh pair of all of these things in case mine ever get damaged or, I don't know, I want to hand it down to my cat and my will or whatever. But I'm like, let me just spread the love, So, and maybe I'll tie it into the membership somehow or something. I don't know. Can you see? Okay. All right. Anything else for announcements? I think the only thing left is to open up this package. We got another package, guys. I feel like, do you guys remember Blue's Clues? It's the mail time. Wasn't there a song for that? It's the mail, it never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail. When it comes, I want to wail. Mail! You guys remember that? From Blue's Clues? No? Not the other one? Mail time! Yes, thank you, Mariah. Always coming through so I don't feel crazy. It's the mail that never fails. Ooh, oh wait, hold on. First of all, we have angry Amazon employees again. Once again, my apologies to whoever sent this to me for the disrespect of the Amazon employees who have a tendency to want to just ball your little notes like they are just having the worst days. I'm very sorry. Everybody's saying out loud. Yes. Good. I'm not the only one. I was a little bit old for Blue's Clues, but when you are home from school or whatever and nothing's on TV, I mean, what did you watch back then? Put on Blue's Clues. Okay. Oh, is Deja here? I haven't seen her in the There she goes! Hi, Deja. Oh my gosh, thank you for everything you do and more. Thank you for existing to say that you're an inspiration is an understatement. Keep shining your light and helping others in their darkness. Blessed be you now and always. From Deja. Thank you, Deja. Thank you. I hope you were here earlier when I shouted you out for being a member. And now I see you in the comments with your badge. Hi. Thank you. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. You guys, I really, really hope we pick this book in the book club. I know it's probably completely inappropriate for me as the administrator of the book club to say that I have a preference in the vote, but I do. Okay? At least for like in the category that it's going to be in, because we're going to have different categories. We might read a book about herbalism and then we'll vote on what book in herbalism. We might have a book about divine feminine and we'll pick which book about divine feminine. But like when we get to divine feminine, can you guys make sure we put this book like sooner rather than later? Can everybody conspire to vote for this book? I really want to get into this. If you guys are not familiar, this is Sacred Woman by Queen Afua. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Deja. No, of course you were napping. My God, you're like taking over the universe and everything. Please rest. My goodness. Thank you. Sacred Woman, this is by Queen Afua. The subtitle is A Guide to Healing the Feminine Body, Mind, and Spirit. I have heard so many good things about this book in terms of just what it does to help recalibrate how you look at yourself as a divine creature, as a woman, to really understand ourselves as more than just human beings. We're so much more than just the flesh and blood. There's something not better but different about divine feminine energy, and I just really want to get deeper into understanding that part of myself and why it's different from the divine masculine, and how to parse those parts of myself out, because there's a lot of really important spiritual knowledge and magical knowledge in that part of ourselves. Our intuitive side, our watery side, our receptive side. There's a lot of really deep knowledge about like life, death, all kinds of stuff in that part of ourselves. So I want to tap into that part of myself deeper. I hope that you guys do too, and maybe pick this book so we can read it together, because I do feel like it's the type of book that a community would benefit from talking about. It seems. Obviously, I haven't read it yet, but that's what I get from the vibe. Okay? And I think there's like exercises and stuff and like things to actually do. So yeah, there's like physical exercises demonstrated and stuff. So there's like stuff to get into and stuff to really do. Herbal tonics, sacred relationships, what to do before breakfast, overcoming the broken. Yeah, beautiful. And then I know that Queen Afua draws a lot from ancient Egyptian teachings, which I kind of think regardless of like where you're at and what your beliefs are and what your traditions are, that kind of applies, because ancient Egyptian teachings seem to be really focused on like universal law and principles that are applicable regardless of like a religious background or what your views are on that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So, hi, Ursa. Oh my God, look, it makes a thing. It says, welcome to Seeker. Did you just become a Seeker, Ursa? Okay, Ursa, listen. Vote for Sacred Woman, okay? Let's conspire. Vote for Sacred Woman. I really want to read that. I think we should read it together. I think that would be dope. Thank you so much, Deja. I really appreciate you. Much, much love and blessings to you. Thank you so much. Yay. You know, a little for you guys. A little for me. I love it. I love it. All right. So that's announcements. You are welcome, hun. Thank you. Thank you, Deja. Okay, so next, real quick, let's talk about add it to your Amazon book list. Okay, it's a One World book. Is One World a part of Wiser? I know they have like sub things or whatever, but add it to your book list. I'm working on getting discount codes for the book club to make like getting books easier for those of you who want to get your books. You know, obviously you can get them like on Kindle and stuff, which is like way cheaper. And stuff if you get like the ebook version. Most of these books have ebook versions, but I am trying to get like discount codes for us so that that will help. You know. Oh, Ursa, you tried to be low key? No, that's hilarious. Really? YouTube definitely just put you on extra blast. YouTube was like, Ursa's business is out there. That's so funny. You just wanted the badge. That's hilarious. Well, your business is in the streets. Ursa's one of the witches, y'all. It's out. Okay? Hide your wife, hide your kids. And Danny's a seeker too. What? What's up, Danny? Welcome. Welcome, guys. I appreciate you all so much. And again, no pressure, because I know how it can be. It happens to all of us. No pressure. Anybody who is waiting for June to hit before they sign up, no pressure whatsoever, okay? I just, have to say thank you, and I can't help but get excited seeing people sign up. So, all right. Astrologically, what is going on in the cosmos? I really should have probably started off by asking if everybody is okay. Because last week was kind of intense. I don't know if it was intense for anybody else. I never know really Mariah's like, what went on with last week's stuff. So remember we talked about the eclipse being really, really deep shadow work, really going inward and facing like some of the uglier parts of ourselves, and that kind of stuff. That showed up for me big time last week. Showed up for me and my husband big time. We really had a very deep, like, emotional few days, and we learned things about each other and about ourselves that I don't think we've ever really faced or talked about. And it was intense. It was emotional, but it was such a relief when it was over. It felt like one of those, oh my God, I can't believe we waited so long to talk about this kind of moments. So I'm just wondering if anybody else had a similar experience specifically with the eclipse, because it happened for us like Monday through Wednesday, that build up into when the eclipse actually happened. It was like you could set your clock to it. It was unbelievable. Totally unplanned. That's just how the week unfolded. Mariah said, yes, it was. Ursa says, Coven game strong. Bianca, tired, feeling anxious. Sleep schedule has been garbage. Other people have been telling me that. Lots of tears. Yes. Crying. Yes. I cry every day, says Awakening of Tony. I am very emotional as well. I cry very easily. So whether I'm happy, sad, whatever, it doesn't matter. I just cry really, really easily. And I used to have a certain level of embarrassment about it. I still probably kind of do. But I've learned that crying is one of my powers, and that the fact that I cry like that and move to emotion like that is a part of my skill as a prayer, as a person who prays, and casts, however you want to look at it. However you want to look at it. Ursa, June, not immediate family, but there is death around. Also major blow up at work, resulting in some meetings, boundaries. Okay. Definitely a lot of transition. Oh, on the same day of the lunar eclipse, I finally switched firms. Okay, Lopez the G, talk about a transition. And I like that, how that emoji comes up. Yes, on boundaries. Tanya, I've had an experience just this weekend alone with having conversations with myself. That's really what it was all about. Just today, I had a very enlightening moment. And just today, and now I feel so light. Oh, wow. So it was kind of like it took the whole week to unfold for you. That's what we were talking about, the eclipse being an energy of basically talking to yourself. We were talking about, was it Anthony was talking about doing mirror stuff? But we were talking about like looking in the mirror and really asking ourselves, like, why do I do that? Why do I say that? Why am I that way? What is that about? Yeah, shadowy work. Yeah, you guys know I don't really like saying shadow work, but that's what it is. The buildup overflowed for me on Thursday. So for Ursa, it was Thursday. Blaze One says, same here, tough conversations with my BF that should have happened a long time ago. Boundaries tested. Oh my God, Mariah, wait a minute. Hold on. I also learned that my baby tooth that I still have finally has to be removed. I'm going to have to use braces and chains to bring down the adult tooth. It's going to be a nightmare. So I am turning 35 this year, and I also still have a baby tooth. Isn't that crazy? But the reason I actually have had several over the years. Most of them have fallen out now, but I have some weird condition where several of my baby teeth never grew adult teeth behind them. So like they never were able to like be pushed away. You know what I mean? So they just stay there, and then over time they get knocked out or stuff happens to them. Isn't that crazy? It's terrible. Yes, we are muy simpatico. You and me. It's you and me in here. We are very muy simpatico. Isn't that a random thing to have in common? That we both have a baby tooth? That is so funny. Yeah, Mariah, also about taking accountability for what you allow versus what you put blame on. Right. That's the other half of the boundaries part, is putting down boundaries and, establishing a perimeter around yourself based on what you really need, but then also being accountable for the fact that you not having boundaries is your own fault. Like nobody made you not set them up. Nobody made you be that way. You have to take that part. Oh, well, thank you guys. Oh, thank you. Yeah, 35 this year. Thank you. Yeah, I feel like my readings were very real too. Like the TikTok I post, and like the readings that I'm doing for the members for this week's video and stuff, I feel like they're very like cut to the chase this week. 25, you say? Oh, thanks, Ursa. I'll take it. Deja's always wanted braces. I always wanted braces until I got braces. And then after years of braces, I was like, oh man. And then, can you believe I had braces? This is how I ended up. What a waste. What a waste. On the bright side, thinking balance from last week, I'm still in such a good place in life and still learning and growing. We're going to be all right. Yes, we are. Yes. Beautiful. Love it. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to touch in about that because I was like, I feel like this energy is intense. I wanted to know if everybody else was going through, going through it with that inward energy, facing the harder parts of ourselves, because it was not easy to go through. Mariah says, would love to hear everyone's good news. I finally convinced my partner to move forward on starting a family. Ooh, now I just need a tooth removed and an IUD, and it's a go. Look at that. Teeth, IUD, take it out, boom. So you always have to release to make room for new opportunities. So you release that IUD and get you a baby. My aunt had braces when we were growing up. It's the definition of beauty. So I associate them with beauty. Oh, I love that. I'm 43. My birthday was May 21st. I don't look my age either. I think I'm in my early 30s. Runs in my family. Oh, yeah, nice. Yes. Nice. Exchanging a baby tooth for a baby. Oh my God, the symbolism is crazy. You have to keep that tooth for something. You have to keep that tooth and maybe make it into a something for the baby, a protection, something, put it into a doll or something like that for the baby. Because that's literally like what you are letting go of in order to like let them come in, you know. That's so symbolic. I love that. I would definitely save that. And if you don't make it into something for the baby, I would hold on to it in case you need to do some fertility work, because I feel like that could be a useful carrier of really good energy, you know, wanting to start a family, getting the okay to start a family, and having the removal of this baby tooth be a symbol of me moving into my, like, you know, baby ready body or something like that. So I would do that. I would either make it into a thing for the baby or keep it for fertility work in case you ever need to help somebody with their baby issues or something like that, you know? Those would be my ideas. Ooh, an awakening of Tony says, do a steam after the IUD removal. I second that. The one of the steams that I have, Push It, which is for mamas who just had a baby, would be a good steam for you. You don't have to get it from me, but you can go on my Etsy and just look at the ingredients and make it for yourself. But it has calendula and rose and witch hazel, and those are all great herbs to help like tone and dry up any bleeding and hemorrhaging or anything from the IUD being taken out. That'll, you know, tone everything, tighten everything back up, and they're also, you know, disinfectant and stuff like that. So those herbs would be good for you. Good idea, awakening of Tony. I wasn't thinking of that. Ooh, Deja's giving new mommy advice in the comments. Go ahead and suck that up. I have no kids over here, so I'm gonna ignore that comment. I don't need that mojo this way, okay? Send it to Mariah. What else astrologically? So obviously, you know, we can't ignore the fact that it is a Mercury retrograde. What can we say? It happens. There's nothing we can do about it, okay, guys? There's nothing we can do about it. But we were talking last week about what are some of the positive aspects of the retrograde, because that's what I like to stay focused on. I like to think about how retrogrades give us an opportunity to revisit things. And I think it's important that we just try to keep a distinction between revisiting and reliving, because I think that's where we get into trouble when like old boyfriends or, you know, bad habits or old things from the past creep up on us. Sometimes we fall into the habit of reliving those things, and you know, that's where we get into trouble, I guess. I think instead, if you can focus on revisiting those things, giving them another look over and seeing what else you can learn from them, what other lessons are to be drawn from them, or what, you know, because we were talking about that much deeper shadow work that was happening last week, and that lends itself to revisiting things that you may have thought that you handled, or that you thought that you matured out of, or that you thought that you understood about yourself. And let this energy of revisiting allow you to give those things another once over. And maybe this time you'll have the guts to really go deep and really face those things in a way that you haven't before. The retrograde can also be useful, I think, financially, because it gives you an opportunity to go back after things that you were owed, or to go over stuff. I think it's a really good time to look at like your subscriptions and like stuff that you might be signed up to that you don't really use anymore. Revisit all those things that you like at 4 o'clock in the morning. We're just like, yeah, okay, I don't know, bill me $19.99 after 30 days. I don't care. I just really want to do this thing. The retrograde's a good time to go back over that stuff and cut out any of those things that, you know, you don't need anymore. Go back to that old job that you like, you know, stormed out of a month ago because it was the full moon and you like couldn't handle it or whatever, you know, and remind them that they still owe you a paycheck. You know, like go back after stuff that you maybe originally were like, I'm not even going to bother. I don't care. You know, it's a good time to revisit. Oh my gosh, no, don't laugh the baby out. It's so good. No. Still has time to percolate. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, get rid of your subscriptions. Do that. The other day I had something. Apple is charging me for a lot of stuff. And I don't know what they are. And they all come up on different bills and they all just say Apple iTunes and store. And I'm like, well, what the hell did I get in the store? I don't remember anything. But it's like recurring stuff. And I'm like, is this the iCloud? Is this the iCloud? I got one thing I paid $2.99 for a month. Is that my iCloud? There's another thing called Apple iTunes. It's $11.99 a month. Is that my iCloud? I don't know what any of these things are, but Apple's taking quite a bit of money from me. I should use this time to revisit that shit. You know? So I encourage you to do the same. Revisit money that is owed to you out there. Okay? And yeah, obviously there are a bajillion things going on in the cosmos that might impact you. I encourage you to follow an astrologer or get astrology readings. I'm not one, but I did link in the description box a few of the astrologers that I like to read or watch. You know, they have blogs, they have videos. So I like to check out their stuff. And just kind of be generally aware of what's going on in the cosmos, because I do see, like we were talking about with the eclipse, I do see these patterns, and it does not seem accidental to me or coincidental. The way in which things that are happening in the cosmos affects what's happening in my life. So that's why I try to pay attention to those things. You know, and if you do too, then you might find similar patterns that can be helpful to you. I generally pay attention to what's going on with the moon because I feel it directly impact me. The moon, I believe, is in Aquarius right now, going into Pisces and then Aries. So that's like the transit of the week. The sun, of course, you know, kind of impacts the general energy. And obviously the retrogrades or any like really major transits can sometimes show up. So I do try to pay attention to that. There's tons of stuff going on in the cosmos, and I encourage you to get your birth chart online and do all that good stuff, okay? Do all that good stuff. Oh, Josie did that this morning with Amazon. Lots of little expenses. Yes. I gotta do it. Let's all do that, okay? This retrograde, everybody, check your subscriptions. Go over all that stuff. Look over your credit card bills and your debit card, and look through, and all those little recurring $2.99s and $5.99s, and I'm still signed up to Hulu and all that stuff. Go back over that stuff. See how much money you can find yourself in this retrograde. You know, while everybody else is stressing about, my computer doesn't work, my car broke down, you can focus on getting money that is owed to you. Isn't that a better way to spend the retrograde? I think. All right, so that is announcements. That is astrology. We are going to get into the cards now. So thank you guys for hanging out so long. If you have just entered into the room, then this is the live weekly tarot reading for the collective. This is the week of May 31st through June 6th. And we're going to pull cards from various decks. I'm going to pull oracle cards to start, which gives us sort of guidance and direction. And then I'm going to be pulling from the Key Tarot today. I was in the mood for the Key Tarot. So I'm going to pull from the Key Tarot. And this is a little unorthodox for me because I don't usually pull cards from like a new deck, but I really love this. So I'm going to pull a card from the Conjure card deck. All right. And stay tuned. There will be a full flip through and review video coming out soon on this channel. But I want to pull a card from it because I've been pulling cards for myself and I've been enjoying it. And I figure I'll share that with you guys, you know? Mariah said, oh wait, Mariah has an idea. And then make a plan for using that specific amount of money intentionally involved. That's a good idea. Yeah. Portia says that's a good idea. I agree. So Mariah said, when you cut out all those subscriptions, whatever that amount of money is, set an intention for that specific amount of money each month. Because you were already spending it, right? You were already spending it. So don't lie to yourself and be like, oh, I'm going to save it, because you're just going to end up spending it on something else. So set an intention for it. If it's $25, then go ahead and, get that $25 donation to the neighborhood garden or whatever going, That's a good idea. Or even if it is your savings. I shouldn't knock it on being savings, but it needs to be intentional and really like your savings, not just you saying like, oh, I'm going to save it. But like now, if it was $25 every month, taking $25 and actually putting it in your savings. That is a very, very good idea, Mariah. Thank you. Always coming through with the ideas. I like that a lot. That'd be really helpful. Yay! The Key Tarot deck, you love it too? Yes. If you guys like the Key Tarot deck and you want to get it, the link to grab it is in the description box. And remember, you can use my code ALY10 for 10% off your purchase. So if you haven't gotten it yet, use my code ALY10 for 10% off your purchase. And all the info is in the description box, okay? And the other cards, the Conjure cards, the Oracle cards, and any other card that I pull, info is in the description deck. So in the description box. So if you want to get the deck, info on how you can do that is there. And if there's like a discount code or something that I have, it's all down there for you. Did I tell you guys I'm drinking today? I don't even think I did. I'm having marshmallow root infusion, keeping my hydration up. What's different about this is it's fresh, which I'm so happy for. Last year, in November and December, I cut up a bunch of my favorite things from the farmer's market and from my herb share and put them all in the freezer. So Snapdragon apples, various different types of squash, a few different types of roots, burdock root, marshmallow root, dandelion root. What else did I save? Some cauliflower, some carrots from the farm, from the farmer's market. I feel like there's something else, but marshmallow root was one of them. So I'm really happy because it makes a big difference, and you can really, just in the taste, but also in how I feel my body responds to the herb when it's fresh. So it's really nice to have fresh roots. So I'm having fresh marshmallow root infusion. Marshmallow root is a great hydrator. Like slippery elm, like aloe, like okra. It has a wonderful mucilage, consistency. and compounds that it releases, and it's just great for lubricating your whole body. So whether you are having a sore throat, like even if your lips are chapped, like if you drink it right to your lips, I will drink it in the wintertime and when my lips are chapped. So it just hydrates your whole body really, really well and offers a lot of soothing to any inflammation or anything that's like hot and irritated in your body or on your body, because you could also take that, the inside of an aloe or the inside of okra or the mucus that comes off of the marshmallow root after you soak it. You can put that into like, cloth or whatever and put it on your skin. So if you're having like a skin irritation, that can help. So that's marshmallow root. I realized I hadn't mentioned that. All right. Oh, Wednesday is Lopez's birthday. Happy birthday. Okay, yeah, I hope that goes well. I pray that goes well. Tony thinks this is about self and career this week. Well, Tony, when I talk about like how I recommend people take the collective reading, because it is a reading for all of the folks who are in here, is to obviously, let the message that is coming through be received in whatever way, but whatever you feel in here always should take priority over any like example or thing that I feel coming through. So while I might feel like, oh, the cards are really giving me an energy of like, this is about romance, this is about our romantic relationships or things like that. If you're feeling, no, this is about career, this is about personal growth, then that's exactly what it is about for you. And that, I always try to tell people that, because I don't like, if I say, I'm really feeling this for this area of your life, that's a feeling that I'm getting because it's an overwhelming portion of the amount of people watching. But for each individual person, that might be different, So I say that to say, if you are wanting a message for yourself and for your career, then now would be the time to ask Spirit to deliver that through this reading. All right. Okay. Oh yes, the theme for June for the bodega is solstice. That's the summer solstice is the focus. So all of the products and items are going to be themed around the summer solstice. Thank you for asking. All right. So I'm going to take a moment to center myself a little bit, because we've been talking about a million things. And just want to reconnect. It's so funny. So the message from Spirit in the form of the oracle for us this week is gratitude. And I hope I didn't have an overwhelming influence on this card coming out, because I was asking for a message for all of you. But as I was asking, the very last thing that I thought as I was about to pull a card was, I'm so grateful that this is my job. And so I don't know if I've had undue influence, and this message is really just a reflection of how grateful I was feeling in this moment that I can do this for you guys. Yeah, but I do hope it's for everyone. I hope it resonates with everybody. And the message that we have here is gratitude. I don't know that there's too much to be explained, with that. When I pull an oracle card, I'm doing so for the purpose of getting us some guidance and some advice, basically. I like to start with that because I feel like if we see things in the reading that are maybe upsetting or frustrating or that are not what we wanted to hear or see, that we already have pulled our guidance and our advice, our message about what we can do about it or what we can stay focused on in order to help us get through it. So gratitude is going to be something that we come back to as we go through the different cards, and it's going to help us as we get through whatever it is we need to deal with this week. So gratitude. I think one time Mariah said gratitude is the attitude, and I've been saying that to myself ever since then. Gratitude is the attitude. So this week, Spirit wants us to focus in on being grateful for all that we have, all that we've experienced, all that we've come through, and seeing the blessing in all of it, good or bad. That's a good point. Danny says, after shadow work, for me, gratitude raises my spirits if it's low. I think that's beautiful advice, Danny. If you guys, for those of you who said that shadow work was something that came up for you last week with the eclipse, and maybe you're feeling a little bit down on yourself because of what you discovered about yourself or what you faced about yourself, you had to look at parts of yourself that are not so pretty, and you maybe don't like how you've behaved or things you've said. And that can definitely put you in a low place. And gratitude can absolutely raise you out of that. Because despite mistakes or things that you may have made as a result of living too heavily in that, detrimental side of yourself, there's probably also really great things that have come from it too. Because that's the tricky part about those parts of ourselves. The reason why they're shadows is because they're operating behind the scenes in all of the things that we do. So, something that is holding us back can also be the thing that we tap into in order to succeed or to cope at the very least. Usually it's coping. So we've used those same tactics or those same characteristics in order to cope with trauma, and it's gotten us through. So it's hard to look at those same parts of ourselves and say, yeah, but in the long run, they don't really benefit me. They're not really a reflection of the best version of myself. So even though behaving this way or this aspect of myself has helped me through some tough times, I still need to reckon with it. So gratitude about all the ways in which those quote unquote negative parts of you have helped you out can help, balance it out, make it not seem like it's such an attack, a personal attack on you that you're making like on yourself. Ursa says a point of view of gratitude offers light and otherwise dark perceptions. When I have gratitude, I'm better informed. Also, things feel lighter. Yes. Yes. Danny says definitely makes me feel lighter. Yeah. I like that. Gratitude is the attitude, guys, that will help you get through All right, so now we're going to get into the tarot. We're going to be pulling a card for every day of the upcoming week, today through Sunday. And I'm pulling from the Key Tarot. I like that, Amy. Gratitude for the lessons learned from uncomfortable journeys helped reshape my view of retrogrades. Because we're talking about the retrograde as an opportunity to go deeper, revisit those things, and that can be unpleasant, but maybe focusing on the lessons that you're learning every time that happens makes the retrogrades at least seem useful, if not more pleasant. At least they serve a purpose, for sure. Wow. So I already started working on the readings for this week that are coming out for the members, like the zodiac readings and stuff like that. And there are some reoccurring themes going on for sure for this week, because we're starting in June, the start of June. Those readings are going to be for the month, but the devil card just keeps coming up quite a bit, and it's just very interesting. I really feel like, so 2 weeks ago we were talking about the theme being transition, right? Or was that last week? I think it was 2 weeks ago, was transitioning. And it's like a lot of us are really shaking off some really toxic attachments that I think for a long time really never occurred to us as being like a problem. It's only after going really, really deep. And I wonder if for a lot of us, toxic attachment is to ourselves, where it's one of those things where we were saying we have this like alternate identity or this belief of ourselves of like who we're supposed to be. And we have to release it because it's not serving us. So it might not even be like another person, but let's get into those. You guys are my neighbors. Okay. They're going to the park. I'm like over here trying to receive messages and talking about the park. So I want to deal with this card first. You do? I'm like, do you hear them? They're like talking about how they want to go to the park. Like, just go. The park is a serious matter, right? I mean, but like, can we decide? It's a whole debate, Anyway, I want to deal with the conjure card first. This is the Queen of Diamonds. So I want to get into the little guide because I don't know what this flower is that's on it, and I'm feeling like I need to know. It's relevant, I assume. Okay, so this is the conjure card deck, Jake Richards, and this is the Queen of Diamonds. And these are morning glories. These are morning glories. I'm very happy to see these just because these are the flowers that grow above the high john root. So the root of this flower is the high john root. And I just got an order of dry morning glories for a high john powder that I'm working on. And I'm growing sweet potato vines, which are in the same family as the morning glories. So morning glories have just been popping up everywhere for me, literally, because these ones are growing over here. And they're like growing literally by the minute. I wish I could reach them. They're like a little out of my reach. My husband walks by again. I'll grab them. But these are morning glories, and this is the Queen of Diamonds. And it says, morning glories are persistent. They will grow everywhere and in just about any condition. As such, the morning glory was chosen for this card, which represents a good mother and wife. It may also represent a blonde woman who, if the other cards present are right, can be overbearing, since morning glories like to take over more room than they are given to start with. Otherwise, the Queen of Diamonds may also foretell a wedding or other commitment in the works. It is, right? Yes. Yes, hi Moni, no, you're good. We're just getting started with the first card. We're trying a new card deck today, Conjure Cards. And we have the Queen of Diamonds here with the Morning Glory message coming through real strong. Gratitude, first of all, pops out at me immediately. So some of us are working through some issues, perhaps with our mothers, because we have a lot of mother energy also coming up elsewhere in the reading, in particular with the Empress showing up here. So that is very, very interesting. I feel like, hold on, I want to get this. The energy that's coming with the two of these together is like that mom that truly, truly, truly means well, and like really goes above and beyond, is a provider, takes care of the home, like really takes care of their family, but yet their kids will be like, no, actually, the truth is she's like really too much. It's like really too much. Like everybody on the outside is like, oh, this mom is great, so wonderful. Like, isn't this fantastic? Like, she's so loving. But there's something about that energy that is actually not really very helpful. It's borderline unhealthy. It's too much of a good thing. It's too much of a good thing coming through here. And that makes a lot of sense with the gratitude energy, because if you're going to get through trauma that originated from things that your mother did, you know, that a parent did, focusing in or at least balancing it out with gratitude for all the ways in which that behavior was good for you and contributed to your life. You know what I mean? Like maybe now as an adult, it's not very helpful, or it's created a codependency, or it's created tension and problems. But perhaps as a child, it kept you out of trouble and it made sure that you were safe in a dangerous neighborhood, or, you know, that you weren't left behind in a school system that wasn't very good, or what have you, you know? So there's a balancing going on here of like gratitude for how that overbearingness, you know, may have been good in some ways, but also recognizing that it is, you know, too much. It's too much, you know. The Empress is your birth card. You know, some Tony's resonating with this message with their adopted mom. And the Empress card is coming up for a lot of people. The Empress, Devil, and Death. Yeah, all three of those cards are here in that reading. We have the Empress, Devil, and the Death card all in this reading. So if you're not listening, this message is for you, okay? But I'm going to back up a little bit because I wanted to do the Conjure card first. I've been loving these cards, guys. This is why. Because honestly, without this, we wouldn't get this full picture of this mother energy. Because the Empress, when we think about her, at least with me, I do tend to focus on all of the positive traits about Empress energy. And when it relates specifically to a mother, I do think about all the positive things and the positive indications of that. But there is definitely the opportunity for too much. The Empress is like a watery energy, a nourishing energy, and you can easily, if you're anything like me, overwater your plants. You can overdo it for sure. So that energy is coming through strong here. So as it relates to the gratitude energy, for a lot of you, that may have to do with working through some issues with a parent or a mother figure, an overbearing mother. But like I was saying to, I can't remember, someone earlier, that's how it's coming through for me, meaning that most of you will probably have that type of experience. If something else is coming through and you're like, oh, this is actually about my dad, or this is actually about my spouse who, is kind of like my mother, and is overbearing, or I treat them like my mother, or we have this kind, so how that resonates for you is how you want to take the message in a collective reading. So, but backing up a little bit, just to get into the theme of what is going on, we have the Knight of Wands in reverse, and this is not your first time here for most of you, I think. This is, yes, the Monday card technically, but it's less about what's happening today, though that can be something that comes up, but it's more about the theme for the week. And with the Knight in reverse, we're talking about a little bit of a pause. So anytime I see a pause like this or a delay like this during the retrograde, I say no need to be alarmed, because isn't that what we're expecting, right? Retrograde time means delays and things. I think a lot of times, especially with the y'all weirdo witchy people who tend to watch me and readings like this, I think a lot of you are already preparing for the retrogrades. So you create your own self-imposed delays out of caution, which is fine. That's your choice, however you want to handle the retrograde energy, however you want to, work through it. I think a lot of us witchy folk know it's coming up, and so we decide to put off important things or take pauses from work, or side projects or things like that, in order to minimize the chances that we have any issues. So I'm not surprised that we see a delay here, specifically related to your passions. Someone was mentioning career earlier. This could definitely be your career, though it doesn't have to be the thing that you use to pay your bills and support yourself. It could be more of something you do on the side, but this is definitely in regard to your passions and your creative projects, whether they are there to make you money or they're just to make you happy, or you're building community, or whatever you're working on. This week is definitely about delay in information about those things as well. So if you're waiting for news, if you're waiting to hear back from somebody about projects, meetings, etc., don't be surprised if you don't hear back during the time that you were expecting. So that's sort of the energy of the week, a delay or a slowing down of our progress, where it's related to those concerns. But like I said, I don't feel like it's a delay, oh no, there's some big obstacle in the way and you can't get by. I kind of feel like for a lot of you, it's a self-imposed delay, where you're it's retrograde season, so I'm not going to try to do this, I'm not going to try to do that, I'm going to spend more time working on this, that, and the third. And then for those of you who aren't doing it intentionally, it's just a result of the energy. So be expecting delays if you haven't already. Also, transportation, I'm feeling like it would be a good idea to check on your modes of transportation. That's a general rule of thumb, I think, right, for retrograde stuff. But in particular, it seems to be coming through here, rotate your tires or check your oil, or I don't drive. So, whatever it is car people do all that stuff. If you don't drive, then make sure you've got the updated bus schedule or however you commute, whatever your forms of transportation are on a regular basis. Check in on them because you might have some issues come up with that. That's what I'm feeling there. Yeah, I try not to overthink it or look up when it happens. Yeah, I've talked a bunch about how I feel about the retrogrades. I feel like they are illusions and we know that they are, but at the end of the day, we've put enough energy in them now as a collective that you can't really ignore the fact that there does seem to be a shift in the energy around these retrogrades. So I pay attention and I don't. I note that it's happening and I just do my usual things to take my precautions and go from there, But we definitely see that having an impact on the week. Like I said, whether it's because you just take precautions like me, so you intentionally just decide, you know what, this week is not the week to do anything crazy. My shop is shut down. You know what I mean? Like, take the week off because I know that's what I want to do. Or it's because that's just what's happening with the energy, and outside of your hands, you have or will be experiencing some delays around your projects or around your forms of transportation. Okay, so jot that down. That's the theme for the week, the focus here, okay? As we get into the bulk of the week, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I find it really interesting, just in general, also Sunday, how many major arcana cards we have here. So I see here, even if you guys didn't say in the comments, that what happened last week was absolutely transformative, to have 4 major arcana cards coming up for us like this tells me, and the ones that we have in particular, Hanged Man, Devil, really the transformation. I don't want to say complete because obviously these things are ongoing processes in our lives. We're always learning more about ourselves and healing, and blah blah, all that stuff. It's an ongoing process. But something major happened with a lot of us last week. That eclipse was definitely, it pulled up things that were very, very deep. And this has given way to a lot of opportunity for really turning over a new leaf. And this is the week where we kind of sit in what we learned and figure out what that's going to look like. What is this new us going to look like now that we took off the mask and we just looked ourselves right in the ugly face? What now do we want to do with that? Hi, Smiler 3. Tuesday, we have the Empress. We were talking about that mother energy coming through. So this might be a time to reach out to your mom. But I think more likely this is about just addressing the impact that has had on your life. I don't know that necessarily a relationship with your mother is what's happening here. It more feels like what came up for you last week, what was triggered for you last week, or what was revealed for you last week is more than likely related to something that involved your mother, which is like, duh, isn't that always the case? It's like, what happened in your childhood? But that's pretty much how that works. Like, I think that's what shadow work is all about, right? It's about discovering those parts of ourselves that are kind of like the little monsters that were created as a result of the trauma we went through as kids. We created these little parts of ourselves that were established in order for us to cope, for us to survive, for us to overcome. But now as adults, they do more harm than help, or at least they do more harm because we're not realizing the role that they play in like our decisions and all of that stuff, Yes, definitely connected to last week and the mother theme. Yeah. So as we move into the week, tomorrow might be a day to spend on this, so it doesn't have to be so specific, but just know that we have this shift from focusing in on like our hobbies and our careers and all of that stuff to taking time to actually like ruminate, regurgitate, rehash, revisit the stuff that came up last week that we had to look at. We need to explore where that's coming from. And for a lot of us, this is going to be originating from our mothers and experiences that we had with our mothers. Remember that gratitude is the message. Gratitude is the message. That overbearing nature is understood, it's recognized, it's acknowledged. No one is saying that what happened to you wasn't real and wasn't a trauma and wasn't, unfair and all of those things. And certainly the little monster that was created has made a lot of mistakes and done things that are probably regrettable in the end. But if that makes you feel low, if that makes you feel down on yourself, if that makes you want to turn away from the little monster that you discovered, Spirit is saying, hold on, that little monster also helped you get through a lot of shaky stuff, especially as a kid. So let's not turn away. Let's see how we can move on into like adulthood and work with this, kind of thing. Deja says, I definitely keep hearing breaking generational curses. I can understand that. This makes me want to hold my breath. Moving on into like the rest of the bulk of the week. So I don't know, like the reason why I'm stopping is because usually I try to go through the week in like a kind of linear way just to give everybody like, notes, like a notable type of a note-takeable reading, if that makes any sense. But it's more like this is what wants to happen. So I'm putting all of these together. We're just going to take all of these together. The Empress, the Devil, and Death. Okay. And notice like the transition. Which way is this facing for you guys? Okay. This is how it was for me. Starting with the Empress, then Death, then the Devil. Okay, so I don't know if it is that way for you. It might be backwards, but if it is, then flip it, script it, reverse it. But this needs to be taken together for this week because this is the picture of what it is that you are trying to piece together with what came up for you last week. The experiences that we have gone through as kids or what have you with our parents, whether it's our biological parents or our adoptive parents, as Tony was talking about. I'm adopted as well. So whether they're biological parents or like adoptive parents, there comes a time where the relationship has to be reevaluated and potentially, I don't want to say severed because that seems mean, but that may be what it comes to for some of us. For others, it's going to be not so much that you can't have that relationship anymore, but that the nature of it has to change so dramatically that it really needs to be a complete rebirth of that relationship. And this can be with that person in the living or even if they have passed on. So some of you are doing like ancestral work and you're connecting with your parents. And this mother energy can also extend up to like grandmother and like, mothers of mothers, especially if you were like, let's say, raised by a grandmother or something like that. But a lot of you are doing like ancestral work and you're connecting to your family's histories and the stories of what's gone on with your families, and you're using that connection to help you learn more about yourself. Attachments to how your mothers or your grandmothers lived their lives could be part of what you went through discovering about yourself last week. You know what I mean? It's almost like looking in the mirror. Remember last week I was talking about looking in the mirror and seeing yourself and having yourself doing something different and not being freaky. Like if you're talking, but then your reflection isn't, that's what it's like doing like shadow work. It's like looking at the part of you that behaves differently than you would like to. Imagine looking in the mirror and having your mother or your grandmother looking back at you. That's the energy here. That part of ourselves that got explored last week is looking at the ways in which not only did what our mothers or our grandmothers maybe do to us, kind of harm us or inflict trauma on us that we're still shaking as adults, but how have we actually kind of like become them as a result? And that being maybe even scarier than facing the fact that they hurt us, or caused this issue, or that we're still afflicted by it. Maybe even worse than that is admitting that we inadvertently grew up to be just like them and to do those very same things that caused us all that conflict and trauma. That's the package with this. This is a big package. That's what she said. Get serious. Let's get serious. Yeah, that's the energy there. It's like I have to face the fact that those parts of me that I don't like are the parts of my mom, grandma, maybe even like wider net of ancestors that I don't like. Yes, they harmed me, but also they rubbed off on me. It is hitting really hard, right? I think that's why I had to make a joke to like lighten it up, because it is a little bit intense. But it's like, yeah, we tend to focus in on how our parents' behaviors have harmed us, and in many ways they have. But we also still like end up accidentally becoming just like them without trying. And I think that is the deepest layer of what came up for us last week with that eclipse. And this is a transition. Remember, we were talking about the transition? This is definitely more like what I would say is like change, transformation, like transition complete. Because now you really see something. You can't unsee that. If you look in the mirror and you see your mother's face looking back at you, you cannot unsee that. You cannot unsee that. Okay? You cannot ignore that, like, oh shit, I ended up turning into the very same person. I found out that my mom was abused and it was all she knew. That's exactly what this is. Seeing the wounds that you have really, really deeply, and that really deep, that are really deep, and that maybe haven't been resolved, but going one little step further and realizing that despite them inflicting those wounds with that behavior, you still somehow managed to pick up a bunch of it and now reenact it either on yourself or with others. So that's what I'm getting here with this triple whammy of Empress, Death, Devil, of realizing how much we have begun to maybe exhibit some of the characteristics of the sources of our trauma and harm, and like needing to face that, which is like a big thing to face. My partner was super judgy, like my mom. Talk about seeing my mom in the mirror. Oy vey. I've learned my mom and I are very similar despite our different beliefs and things, and found out some things my grandma has gone through. Yeah. So that's what's coming up for a lot of us this week. Looking at ourselves and seeing, Mom. Mom. The energy is a little bit lighter going into the end of the week, which is probably nice for people. That's beautiful and probably was very hard to do. And you would have needed to definitely tap in to your gratitude for that, to really look at all of the good things that did come out of your experience with them. Because for better or for worse, you are here right now, which means that you overcame. And somewhere along the lines, those not so great aspects of yourself were a part of that process. They helped you cope in certain ways. So some gratitude for them, I think, makes it a little bit easier to stomach, what we have gone through so that we can move on from it and not be so upset every time we think about it. So yeah, like I was saying, going into the end of the week, we have a much lighter energy, a much more victorious energy for you with the Seven of Wands and the King of Swords. So the things that you have recognized about yourself and the things that you're ready to tackle this week, this is definitely the energy of I'm ready to tackle it. So if you don't feel that way right now, that's okay. We are at Monday. We are still just pumping the brakes on whatever we're doing in our outside lives so that we can even just focus on this stuff, so that we can even just take time to work through what we learned and, all of that good stuff. But as we get towards the end of the week, then we step into this energy of I'm ready to tackle it. I'm ready to, rise to the challenge of fighting the little monster and finally, putting him to rest and realizing that I no longer need that part of myself. So Seven of Swords comes in to kind of prepare you and also to let you know that if you don't feel prepared, that is okay. The energy with the Seven of Swords very much is like, I was not ready. I was not ready for this fight necessarily. I wasn't ready to have to deal with this stuff right now or in my life. You obviously had other things going on or that you might have been planning on working on or thinking about this week. And this might not have been it, but it's come up and you might as well deal with it. And the good news is as you move through the weekend, you kind of gain your footing a little bit and just get ready to take things on. I love to see the King of Swords after the Seven, really just sort of saying yeah, we're being attacked in certain ways. We've got challenges. We have things to overcome, but here we are sitting on our throne, totally looking out over what we have accomplished and having put the demons to rest, And I really like this guy. I don't know who this is, but I like the look of the crown being kind of crooked and the glasses kind of being crooked, because after the battle, after the fight, after overcoming the challenges, you're sitting there on your throne and maybe your crown's a little crooked, your glasses are a little fucked up or whatever, and you're a little disheveled, but you made it. You make it through. So that's good. And then that energy is further emphasized with the Hangman in reverse, which is all about a shift in your perspective, a shift in how you see things, and a willingness to give, opportunity to new opportunities. It's basically an energy of just being really open and being willing to put other things to the side if you need to. The retrograde does not end at the end of the week. It keeps going on till, I don't know, June 12th or something like that. But it keeps going on for, no, it might be longer than that, the 22nd maybe, but somebody let me know. But the retrograde continues on beyond this week. And so things that needed to take a pause or needed to take a back seat or that you might needed to delay, yes, it ends on the 22nd, that will probably continue. So they may not be back up and running by the end of the week. But again, that's a good thing. This is an opportunity for you to spend time looking at this stuff that has now become revealed to you and really working through it so that when you do get back to your projects, when you do get back to, business or your other pursuits or your side hobbies or your job, whatever, when you do get back to that, you're in a completely different place. And that transition that we've been talking about for the last week or two is more complete, transitioned, more complete, It goes direct on your birthday. Ooh, nice. Good vibes. Nerdy vibes, yeah. He wasn't ready. He was not ready at all. You know what I'm saying? She ready. She ready. You know what I'm saying? So you're ready. It may come up out of nowhere, this whole issue. You may not have been expecting, like mommy issues. I'm dealing with mommy issues. This is what? I was not planning on doing this. But yeah, so if that's been coming up for you really heavily, and you are not really ready for it, that's okay. You're still going to make it through. You're still going to make it through. So she looks ready. They have her barefoot in this. In the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith version, the person has two different shoes on. And I really like that imagery because it really gives you the impression of like, oh shit, this person was not ready for this fight. Like they just had to throw their clothes on. They didn't even put on the right two shoes. And they just had to go out there and like defend themselves against these attacks. She looks a little bit more ready, than the Seven of Wands in the traditional in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. So she's a little bit more ready. But either way, whether you're feeling ready or not, the King of Swords is ultimately triumphant, even if he's a little bit worn out as a result. But like I said, this gives you the opportunity for new perspectives. And it gives you the opportunity for the opportunity. Like it's not even like it gives you anything specifically. It's just this now opens up for you to consider things that you weren't even, forget about not considering, like you weren't even willing to give the time to try to consider it. You weren't even interested in exploring these parts of yourself or getting to the bottom of some of your, behaviors, decisions, what have you. So this is a different energy now where you're like, all right, I guess I've got to kind of surrender to the fact that, now's the time to work on this, I guess. Oh, you found out you were born during a retrograde? Yeah, a lot of people are. And they say retrogrades are very powerful when you're born under a retrograde. Okay. Very interesting. This week is like, I feel like it's just as explorative, deep as last week, which is a lot. It's like, wow, 2 weeks in a row. Give us a break. But I pray that has been helpful and that it's gives you some insight as to what's going on. So if you have been, going through these really deep emotions coming up, and if you have been dealing with aspects of yourself that come from childhood that you maybe haven't been wanting to face, and you're wondering where it's coming from and stuff like that, you're not crazy. It could be, because of what's happening in the energy, what's happening in the cosmos, in the universe. And if you aren't feeling these things, maybe try to take advantage of the energy if it's conducive to this type of stuff. Because if you, like, I see people often post about like, oh, I want to do shadow work, but I don't know, how, or I don't know what that means, or I know that I need to do it, but I am afraid to really face those parts of myself. If you're in that place and you don't feel like you're going through this process, maybe you want to take advantage of the energy out there now and get into it, explore it, do some research on what that means, and maybe find some exercises online, some journal prompts, or have some conversations with some family members. Call your mom and explore some of these parts of yourself and face them. Call your mom and ask her to be honest about some things about you. She'll be honest and probably piss you off, and that will tell you what you need to work on. I think so. Do moths have any symbolism behind them? Oh, for sure. Every animal does. It's just they have different symbolism for different groups of people, and different types of moths, and where you see them. Did you see it in a dream? Was it in a backyard? Did you see 3 in a row? So yeah, all animals have different symbolisms and things like that. When I think about the moth, there's a lot of like death imagery associated with the moth. But I usually think about transformation and stuff because I just think about, moths and butterflies going through their molting process type thing. So my automatic thought is transition and change with them. But different cultures and different takes have different approaches to the symbolism behind different animals. But that's mine. Anthony says change. So the moth. Well, what do moths mean other things to other people, or do people have particular like traditions and stuff where moths mean something? Because I've always just thought of it as like a symbol of transformation and change. And also I've kind of thought of it as like ugly duckling symbolism kind of a little bit, because like butterflies are always considered so beautiful, but then moths kind of get the bad rap as being like ugly or scary. And they're really so similar to me. So I also think about that. Like when I see a moth in a reading, that might come through as more of a symbolism of, feeling like you're not as beautiful or comparing yourself to a different version kind of thing. Depends on the context that it came up in, but that happens sometimes. So. I used to see a white moth or butterfly every time when I was training in the Marines. When I got out, I got a moth tattoo. That's what I would do. Because I'm a tattoo person. I would do the same thing. I would get a tattoo. I don't know personally what that means for you. But it's interesting that you would see a white moth or butterfly. Because then to me, that kind of also lends to the idea of it being about transition and change, because they have that in common. And then the white, to me, that just seems angelic or something like that. Do you have a connection with moths and butterflies to a past loved one or someone like that? Maybe ask your mom. Did you ever ask your mom? Can you ask your mom? My condolences if you cannot, if she's not with us or you're somehow estranged. But maybe there's somebody in your lineage that you can ask about that. Does somebody really love white butterflies and moths? Maybe there's something there. Anthony says it could be death and rebirth. I think that's interesting too, because you have the white and then birth, butterfly and moth. So I could definitely see that. Deja said I used to call my moths night butterflies. Yeah. They are butterflies that come out at night. I like that. Night butterflies. Yeah, change or transition. Yeah, so I think that's how I've always thought of moths and butterflies, as being about change, transition, and then moths having that extra layer of being about, like, sometimes about insecurity or not feeling pretty or things like that. Yeah. Info's in the description box. We can always talk about it deeper for sure. That is definitely that's the type of thing that's good to ask in a reading. What is that about? Mm-hmm. Okay, so now let's pull a support card, guys. And I think we'll do it the same way we did before. I like the voting thing. I think it's pretty easy, okay? So if you've never been here for this part of it, we pull an additional card at the end of the reading. Now that we have received all of this, we want to pull a card to help support us through this because obviously this is a lot, that we are dealing with, a lot of change, personal confrontation and change. And so it's nice to pull a card to see whether or not there is some support that can be provided to us. And so we have several decks that have different types of support, and I'll tell you about them, and then we'll drop an emoji to vote, and I'll pull a card, okay? So first, we have the Words as Wands deck. This is a spell and ritual deck from the Woman of Rivers, and it's basically spells and rituals. So we would be pulling a card to find a spell or ritual to help us either develop our gratitude or to go through this transformation. We have the Botanica deck. This is our newest one from Kevin J. Stanton. And this is a deck of flowers. So this would be helping us to tap into a flower whose energy or symbolism can help us with this process. We have the Herb Crafters Tarot deck. And so this is a deck of herbs. And this would allow us to find a flower, root, bark, berry, some herb thing that wants to support us either in tea form or just as an energy to go through this process. And we have the Archetype cards by Carolyn Mize, and these cards help us to tap into the overarching energies within ourselves that we either need to confront or that can help us. Now, last week, because we were talking about all this inner shadow work, I think we pulled an archetype card, right? Did we pull a Botanica card? Because it was new. I feel like we were talking about pulling an archetype card. And being that we're going on this, really, still in this process of going on this deep dive and confronting these parts of ourselves, maybe that would be helpful. So I'm just going to put that out there. I'm terrible at running votes, I learned. I am so biased. I'm always like, by the way, this is what I think you should vote for. Okay, so we'll do it by colored emoji. We'll do heart emojis. It was archetype last week. Yeah. Okay, so that was my vote last week too, only because we are going through this process of deep diving into our shadow selves, and they can be very helpful for that. Oh yeah, we did both because of a tie. Yes. We did archetype cards and the herb crafter card, right? There we go. All right, anywho. Let's do heart emojis. We'll do pink for Words as Wands. This is the spell deck. We'll do black hearts for Botanica. This is the flowers deck. Green hearts for the Herb Crafters Tarot deck. And red hearts for the archetype deck. Okay? Pink, black, green, or red. You may vote. And then I will choose. Oh, I like how your black heart comes up. It's like grayish on my side. Oh, I think because I have the dark background, so they probably make it grayish so I can see it. I like it. It's very goth. Okay, they're rolling in. Black, pink, red, green, red. Pink. I'm seeing a lot of pink. Okay, it looks like we want to do some spells this week. That might be helpful. Some gratitude work. You think pink won? Well, I'll give it another second. There's only like 10 votes in. There's like 27 people here, so I'll give it another second. Hey, babe. What's up? The Glamour Witch is in the house. Hi, darling. What's going on? I'm gonna take your pink heart as a vote towards the spells deck. All right, yeah, more pink hearts rolling in. Okay, the spells deck is definitely in the lead. Let's see, I only saw like one green and like one red. We did that last. Yeah, I miss you too. We have to chat. We have to chat. Oh, and also I started the support group. I made a little video with info if you get a chance. I posted like how it's gonna work and stuff. We'll be having our first meeting towards like the end of June. So this will be for people to like get all signed up and stuff like that. So check it out, check it out. Yay! Yes, welcome. Okay, so I think pink is in the lead. So we will be pulling from the Words as Wands deck. Definitely check out this lovely young lady. This is Lauren. She is on Instagram as Woman of Rivers, and her info is in the description box for this video already, I'm pretty sure. I really love this deck. Oh, thank you. Yeah, check it out. I really love this deck because I think it's just such a genius idea to have a little deck of spells and rituals to do. Because sometimes you just don't even know what to do, but you want to do something and you don't have every single spell book in the world or anything like that. And you don't necessarily know where to pull from, even if you do. So this is a way for you to tap into your intuition and let the universe kind of guide you towards a spell or ritual to do that will hopefully, help you accomplish your goal. So we're going to pull from this deck, which is very slippery. I know one day it's just going to go everywhere. Okay, so we're working with Earth and we're calling in. Okay, so we're working with Earth and we're calling in. First, I'll show you the card. It's just words. So first, I will read you the incantation. So be ready with your pens. All right, these are the words that we will say as a part of this ritual. We'll be working with the Earth and calling in. Which makes a lot of sense for our gratitude message. Calling in gratitude, working with Earth. Okay, so we are saying, I take on the right amount of responsibility so as not to drain my energy. I take on the right amount of responsibility so as not to drain my energy. Okay, here's the ritual. When beginning a new project, giving a lot of yourself to family or friends, and especially when you're feeling overwhelmed, it is advised to be of service from a full cup. This spell will aid you in prioritizing your boundaries so that you find it second nature to keep them. Okay? So I'll say that again. We're calling in and we're working with the Earth. So you can go out into nature, you can work with your plants, you can definitely planting something would be a great project to start, something that would not be in any way affected by the retrograde or anything else going on right now. So find a way to connect with Earth, call in Earth, and we want to say, I take on the right amount of responsibility so as not to drain my energy. Mariah has quoted it down below. That's right, Mariah June coming through, MVP. So if you didn't catch it, she's written it down for you. And we're going to call in with Earth. And we can do this ritual at any time, but given what we have going on, I think it would be a good idea for us to do this earlier week rather than later, and do it before we have any of these sort of sticky conversations. We have the Knight of Wands in reverse here at the beginning of the week, telling us to go ahead and slow down and be open and okay with any delays that are putting things on pause, so that we can deal with this other stuff, this other internal stuff. Before we really get into this, I would do like a grounding exercise. I would go outside and put my feet on the earth. I would plant something, like I said, or just even sit up with my back up against a tree and connect with the earth to ground ourselves. Speak that incantation and realize that the purpose of this is to refill your cup, because you can't give from an empty cup. This spell will aid you in prioritizing your boundaries so that you find it second nature to keep them. Okay, so we're talking about, I think for a lot of us, still dealing with our mothers and that overbearing, remember that morning glory energy, that overbearing energy. Before dealing with that, before confronting that, you'll have to take a second to ground yourself, call in earth, and set up those boundaries around yourself so that they can't pull on you like that anymore, drain your energy out of you anymore. And also, because we're facing the ways in which we've picked up those habits, you'll also need to face how you might be doing that to somebody else. And so I take on the right amount of responsibility so as not to drain my energy, might actually be about how you are draining other people's energy. And if you pay some attention to correcting the imbalance in your own life, you can stop doing that to others. If you're taking on too much, then that might be triggering you to behave the way your overbearing morning glory mother would behave or behaves. Okay? And the number 3 is the number here. So for those of you who are into numerology, the number 3, we might want to do this on the 3rd day of the month. That would be Thursday of the month. But certainly before you have any sticky conversations with anybody, realize that you're going to want to ground yourself and set up some boundaries so that you're not sucked dry, or vice versa. Realize where you're doing it to others so that you can reassess your life workload so that you're not like so needy, So that is our support card for the week. Shout out to Women of River. Very helpful deck. Such a good idea. A deck of spells. Yes. Hello. Oh, Portia pulled Hecate as her goddess card, and Hecate's number is 3. Correct. All right. Oh my gosh. I'm always so tired at the end of the And the Empress is also 3. That's right. I wasn't even thinking about that. She's very much the 3 of Earth, the Empress. We're calling her, it's almost like fighting fire with fire, challenging the mother energy by like grounding into that mother energy, challenging it while also facing it. Thank you for pointing that out. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. I am so grateful. Grateful for each of you. Grateful that I get to spend this time with you. For those of you who came in late and didn't catch the announcements, if you go back to the beginning of the video, there's a bunch of useful announcements about the shop, memberships, about the book club that's starting, about the support group that's starting, and all of that good stuff. So definitely check that stuff out. Please like this video if you liked it. I think the YouTube lives have been absolutely awesome. I think everybody's getting comfortable with the new platform. So I appreciate you guys being here, and I'm looking forward to getting even better. Yes. Thank you guys. Yay. Have a great week, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you next week, same place, same time. For now, I know some of you say that you would like it to be later, so I'm working on that. But for now, I'll see you same place, same time next week, okay? All right, bye, guys. Blessed be. Hi, you're welcome.